Probably the biggest educational challenge, or the biggest challenge I have, is just the lack of space. The research I do involves a lot of students, kind of one-on-one research, and I just don't have enough space to have enough students come into the lab. I think probably one of the biggest things that Northern has to offer, and one of the biggest things you can get out of a college education, is just having a one-on-one educational experience with an instructor. And I think that's one of Northern's strengths, and I think if students get into that type of situation, they're going to benefit from it greatly. And right now I can't offer that to as many students. I have a lot of students lined up outside my office that are trying to do research in the lab, and I have to turn them away, not because they're not good students or that we don't have the money. It's just that I don't have the facilities to have those students in the lab. And right now I'm working in a building that was dedicated to business and education, and I'm doing neuroscience research in it. So I'm really kind of working out of a strange building at this point. And so having the facilities, things like plumbing, electrical things that I don't have right now, would make a great difference in, again, trying to kind of serve students on an individual basis. I think NKU is on the cusp of growing in terms of research, and we are hiring more faculty, we're attracting more upper echelon students, and one of the things that we can do as well is attract federal funding and state funding. Right now I'm working on a project that works with other regional universities throughout the Commonwealth, and we get federal funding for that research through University of Louisville. And I think with this new facility, we're going to attract a lot more funding. And it's not just a matter of getting more money, it's just that funding is used for students, and so students have better facilities. I can pay them to work on research, and it just sets them up better for better jobs once they graduate, or going on to graduate school or professional schools as well. So again, I think that hits locally because these are the students around NKU. And then nationally, I think it's attracting interest from places like the National Institute of Health, the National Science Foundation, and so I think that makes us look better as well. All right. So another thing that the NKU Health Innovation Center affords us is the opportunity to attract business interest in some of the research that we do. So for instance, some of the research I'm interested in is developing new drugs for mental illness, and there are drug companies that have supported my research in the past. With the new facilities, the science labs, the bench space that I'll have in the Health Innovation Center as opposed to what I have right now, I can attract probably more interest from pharmaceutical companies and healthcare industry, and so that's a growing field. It may also allow my students to see how that kind of industry works, perhaps position them for career opportunities in that industry. So I think what's going to be really nice about the new NKU Health Innovation Center is that it's going to allow me to work better and more closely with the College of Informatics here at NKU. And some of the research I do looks at genetics and how genes might be altered when brains or whatever individuals are exposed to antipsychotic drugs or drugs used for mental illnesses. And we can collaborate better with them. These are large databases when we're talking about genetics. And so I will be able to start working with them more closely in order to answer some questions about how the role that genes play in mental illnesses.